So what is up, everyone? Today is going to be a multifaceted video where we're going to be going into a little bit of the market update and then tips that kind of align with both spot and leverage trading during these types of swings within the market, such as, a mass push of liquidation for those big exchanges, those people with a lot of money in the markets can influence things, which we kind of have seen today. A lot of profit taking in terms of the people who do own Bitcoin at some certain levels. So we're going to kind of get into the market update, what's kind of, what happened and what that outlook is currently. I'm going to give my best take at it. It's not going to be 100% the best, but going to be what I at least understand, if that makes sense. So that's ultimately what we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to be getting into some tips and tricks. And then we're finally going to just touch over some of the base alts that we usually talk about. So the first thing first, within the market update yesterday was Monday. We had a pretty bad red day. Future trading in general got destroyed over the weekend and into Monday. I got liquidated. I didn't get liquidated, but I had stop losses. They all hit on a couple of my futures trades as well. But I know people personally who lost almost their entire account to their entire account, which is just crazy. So if you are a futures trader, I'm going to be getting into some things that you should be doing or taking into consideration in times like this. And this is just really highlighting the importance and need of risk management. A lot of people did not have good risk management because they expected the market to just continue to pump. And then when that ended up happening, their longs got destroyed. A couple of mine did, but of course, risk management wise, I was able to at least mitigate some of the potential losses that I could have had. I could have had a lot bigger losses had I not set in proper risk management devices in order to protect my assets. Now, again, what happened to a lot of people is they got liquidated out of their entire accounts just because of poor risk management, using cross, using higher leverage than they should have been using. And realistically, it ended up costing them a pretty big portion of their portfolio and allowing them to get a pretty nice lesson from it. So again, with leverage trading, that got absolutely wiped. We had big teardowns, not realistically that big. We had 20-30% dips with all alts essentially, and then Bitcoin itself didn't even go down that far, because the reason we saw these prices actually happening in the price action within the alts is because Bitcoin dominance still is at a level where it is influencing alts. And so when we had those big drawdowns, we haven't seen it quite like this in a little bit, where every other alt tanked with Bitcoin. And so when that's really not expected, that realistically is going to liquidate a lot of traders doing futures. And then with spot traders, another thing that ended up happening is the paper hands, basically people who aren't used to crypto investing. What ended up happening is when they saw their position starting to go down, they realistically looked at that as saying, well, okay, it looks like a bearish outlook is ahead. Let me sell. Let me, at least take out what I have now. Maybe some people sold at a loss. I have heard of some people that I know who have sold at a loss within literally just a couple or a day of price action. People have already sold. And so it's interesting to see. It really is to see the emotions being played out in the market right now. As you know, markets really realistically just function off of emotions. So a lot of emotions have been traded. A lot of money's been going to paper hands and into the hands of those who do know how these markets operate. And so my take is simply that I did not sell any of my spot positions. I actually today and beginning of, kind of the afternoon of yesterday, didn't make any futures positions because I understand that right now I just would rather sit on cash on hand with my futures plays. However, with my spot bags, I'm still holding on to everything because I'm still profitable in these. But people just buying in now and then they see that 20% drawdown, it really does affect them emotionally, especially since they aren't used to, how the crypto market works and just how this bull run works as well. Long-term outlook in terms of 5 months, I still see being very fine, especially with a bunch of catalysts we have coming up, such as January, February, where we have a bunch of things promised within the government in order to promote better cryptocurrency prosperity in this sense. And there's a bunch of other things as well. But with that in mind, right now in December, we might see some choppiness, especially looking at the kind of profit taking and comparing that to like the May, March things in there where we saw mass profit taking, which ended up having that drawdown, which kind of put us into that summer bear market, bear market quotes, summer choppiness. But I think this would be, if that happens, if we do have mass profit taking and we see a level of 83,000 Bitcoin, you could see some more choppiness, but I feel like that would last not too long compared to that big summer, choppiness we saw this year also. So that's my thoughts on the market right now. Again, if markets clear up, or if I see, the lowest option a token can go for, this choppiness, then I will throw some longs. I have an Ethereum long set up as a limit. We'll see what happens with that one. It'll be interesting to see. It genuinely will. And then with my spot bags, like I've told you guys, I haven't sold a single one, and I don't plan on anyway. Specifically with Ski is going to be getting tier 1 listings pretty soon, especially with how resilient it's been. And it's almost destined at this point. I would pretty much guarantee it, but don't quote me on that. So it'll be interesting to see what Ski does. Again, I'm kind of saying this in the middle of the video, but none of this is financial advice. Please do everything on your own opinion and your own research, do whatever it is. Just want to preface that. But that's basically the market update. Again, with me personally, what I am doing within this market is I'm just sitting on my hands. Again, I like to just say that's part of what you should be doing, is just understanding if you did lose a lot of money today or yesterday, to understand risk management and to understand your emotions. If you have pretty good conviction on a project doing well in May, it makes no sense for you to sell that at a loss right now just because the markets look choppy. That doesn't make any sense, especially if you have conviction in a project for like 4 or 5 months. Why would you sell now based off of, emotions you're feeling right now? So one thing I really like to do today is I simply just have not been checking my portfolio, and I've just been doing things I enjoy. And realistically, that's how you should play this. You should always manage to separate your emotions, and that will allow you to think logically towards these situations that do happen. And this isn't even that big of a situation, but I know a lot of people took it as that. So that's why, in a sense, I am making this video. And then with Aerodrome's sub $2 now, which I think is a steal. If you look at the long-term outlook, again, predicting a top for Aerodrome just off of Pancake Uniswap. Again, we've gone over this. I see $10, $20 potential, but of course it could go higher, it could go lower, right? We're really just going off of, what previous coins similar to that have done. There's a bunch of altcoins that are on sale that if you are convicted in, it would not make much sense to not invest in these if you're convicted in these for the next 5 months, if that makes sense. So really good discounts on. This is another example of why you should always have cash on hand to be able to throw into some of your positions at better prices than they have been previously. And so that's going to be it for me today, guys. Just a little market update on what's been going on, my thoughts on it, and what I'm doing, etc. And leave a comment down below if there's anything you guys would like to add. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys later.